And hey y'all, Spideera here again, and this ranking review is for One Love, which is a live-action BL series. Now, to be fair, I have no idea which country this came out of. I'm assuming it's Vietnam. That's a big assumption on my part. Normally, I'd be able to tell you because I can usually pick up on the language. You know, it's like, how a few bars, and I got it. But for some reason, I've watched this whole thing, and I'm like, I know it's not Japanese. I know it's not Thai, and I'm not quite sure if it's Korean. So it's like, okay, I definitely know it's not from the Philippines. So, yeah, they kind of lost me on this one. And nothing's listed with the show to let me know what country it came out of. Not that that's super important. It's just a note, to let you know that hell if I know. Okay, so what can I tell you about it? The summary is that this is a story about a gang leader. I'm assuming they're in high school because they actually kind of look like junior high, but I'm going to assume they're high school based on what their parents are doing. So basically, there's a gang leader. And he's failing in school, and his father threatens to send him to America to study. And so in order for him not to get sent to America, he tries to befriend the new transfer student because the transfer student is the only one in school who doesn't really know his reputation enough to turn him down. Everybody else is like, oh, hell no. But it turns out the new transfer student, however, is a pretty boy. He's very pretty and soft-spoken, and, throughout the show, they keep calling him white and small. I don't know why. I'm just going to table that and leave it to the side. Eventually, the gang guy has to coerce the transfer student into helping him, and in order to do that, he basically agrees to pay him to do it. And that's kind of how the story, that's how the story begins. That's how it kind of continues. And for the most part, during the time that the kid is tutoring him, he starts to, catch a few feelings. But the problem is that as he's falling for the new kid, he doesn't know how to handle it because all he knows how to do is fight. So long and short of it, all of his friends have to step in and help him out because he really has no experience with love. All he knows is violence. So it's one of those kind of shows. That would be the summary anyway. It's cute, sweet story. What is their ranking? Now, surprise, surprise, I actually did give this a 10. Now, again, it's not an over-the-moon 10, but it is a 10. Even though this is a story that contains no sex, there's barely any hand holding or any of that. It's even a low budget film. I'm still giving it a 10, however, because given the budget and the ages of the actors and all that went into putting this together, this has to be one of the best storytelling BLs I have seen in a long time, where the story is cohesive. It makes sense. The character development makes sense. It's not like episode 1, he's, a gangster, and then episode 2 he's volunteering to work at the homeless shelter. It's the progress of the characters, it's very well done. For the actors to be as young and kind of new at this, and you could tell when you're watching the film, it's almost like watching one of those PBS specials. To be honest, it's like I don't know if you guys remember those after school specials that used to come out because they want to tell you something, and so they put it in a film, and the kids are like, well, Dave, maybe you should tell your mom before you decide to take that from the guy in the black coat, and the other guy's like, no, I'm gonna do it myself. That guy, the acting is about on par with that. Not quite that bad, but yeah, it's kind of close. There's some scenes where hats off to the kids. They do a great job. And other scenes, it's kind of like, wow, y'all, you didn't think to take that again? But I mean, to be fair, like I said, they're not only young and the story is a good story. I'm just going to say they do a very good job, which is why I could not give them less than a 10. Even though some of the things don't quite meet the criteria, as in, the overall production quality, but it's not as bad as, like, the production quality it's not so bad that I have to take a point off for it, is what I mean. You know, the acting isn't so bad that I have to take a point off for it. It's because it all works together. You know, it kind of complements the acting, to be honest. I mean, if this had been a high, you know, budget and then you had actors like this, then yeah, hell yeah, they would not have reached a 10 level with me anyway. So the basic point, I guess, to make on this is, you know, to let you know that it is a good film. You're probably not going to get that from the very first episode, but I would suggest you just keep watching, because the story itself, although a very simple story, I don't know how to describe it. They just do a much better job than what I've seen in so many other productions that have higher budgets and even seasoned actors in some cases. This one kind of runs circles around him. If they had a little more money and the guys were a little bit older, they might have been able to give some of these other groups a run for it. But continuing on. So, well, you like this one. At the end of the day, I'm going to say that it's 100% up to your preference, okay? As in, this is not a hardcore film. There's no sex. There's very little touching. The actors are young. It's kind of like at a school play level. How do I put it? If you need all the hardcore heavy drama and spooky music and, you know, lighting and backgrounds and you know, CGI, you're not getting any of that. There's none of that in here. But if you like a really good, well-told, adorable love story, you know, the kind of story that mostly has you cheesing and smiling through the whole thing, or, you know, slightly giggling every now and then this one is good. It's very good. And what I think is adorable is that there's various romantic groups within the group. So you've got a hetero couple and you have BL couples, and they all kind of complement the story as a whole. So it's not like you're just watching two guys trying to meet each other and everyone else giving them bad advice like you do in a lot of these stories. You kind of have everyone having their own issues, and yet they come together to deal with, you know, the main couple, but not heavy-handed dealings. And I think I kind of like that, because it gives you a chance to watch the characters grow, as opposed to everybody telling him, okay, now do this, and okay, now do that, and then he's like, oh, okay, you know, they've got a little bit of that, but not nearly as much as some of these other films. But yeah, it is a great coming of age type of story, and so if you like that kind of thing, this will be right up your alley. There's really good pacing too. It's a short show, so it's easy to watch. You don't have to strain your brain. I mean, this is one that is so straightforward. Even though the subtitles are not awesome, you'll still understand it. And it really reminds me of a PSA on keeping your hands to yourself, you know, notifying the police, don't become a vigilante kind of thing, which I think is also kind of cute, especially with that being, you know, kind of woven into a BL of all things. And I can't even say, like, in this case, I can't say I wouldn't watch it again, because this is actually my second time watching it. And to be honest, I only watched it the second time because, frankly, I kind of forgot I watched it the first time. And I saw it again. I was like, what the hell is this about? And then that first episode caught my attention. I wanted watching it again. I was halfway through before I realized, oh, that's right, that's this story. And then since I didn't remember the ending, I was like, I'll go ahead and watch it anyway. Episodes are short enough. So, so what can I say? It's not one where I'd buy the DVD so I could watch it over and over again. But it's certainly one that I enjoy enough to watch more than once. You know, at least on occasion type thing. Now, is there anything important that you need to know about this film? For the most part, not really. This one is, you know, like I said, it's pretty much straightforward. So there's not a lot to figure out. You can watch this with your kids. It's pretty much G-rated. They give you lots of notices throughout, you know, where they're like, oh, you know, it's violent. And yeah, there's a lot of fighting, but it's not the kind of fighting scenes where, you know, you've got real blood and fists and gore and all. It's really the kind of fighting scenes that look choreographed, like, you know, West Side Story. So by U.S. standards, it would not fall in the category of violent. In fact, this would still be a G-rated film by U.S. standards. because we take violence to the hilt, man. This would, when I saw the warnings, I had to laugh. I'm thinking that's not really violent based on what we know violence to be, but okay. And let's see, is there anything? Oh yeah, and unless you have a real problem with the Oishi drink company, it's in every episode. It is like, for every scene has an Oishi drink. I bet you I could count how many times I'm going to see that drink. It's kind of funny. But I wish they'd sell it in the U.S. because I figure if they're going to advertise this much on YouTube, then or anywhere, they need to make it worldwide, man. In fact, I think I'll look it up. Maybe they do sell it, and I just don't know where to get it from. So anyway, let me scoot down here. Is there anything else of any real importance? No, there's nothing to see here. It's about 9 episodes. They're about 30 minutes long. It's straightforward. It's cute. It's a job well done. I mean, it's one that you're gonna smile through the whole thing. At least I did. So yeah, there's not a lot to say about it, except just relax and enjoy with this one. And if you got the time, just can make yourself some popcorn. You can watch this actually probably in a day or less. It's that to the point. Yeah, I like it. So anyway, so since my opinion might not be yours, if you agree or disagree, then let me know in the comment section so other people will get your take on the show after you watch it. Because after all, if you like it, you'll love it, and if you don't, you won't. Well, this is Spideera, and I'm signing off.